Yeah. So what? It's your boy Bitz and Bobz. Yes, people. Welcome to another episode of Bitz and Bobz Meets. Now, tonight is a very important guest. There's so many things I can say about this guy, but what I'm going to say to him, I'm going to introduce him like this. This is a guy who's got multiple podcasts on his channel. He has worked with Saeed. He's worked with Flawless, Musa, Rants, Mr. Iron United. This is a guy that also has a saying that I love for the culture. He's someone that I can relate to when I'm watching the screen. He's also someone that says his own opinion. He's not a puppet. He's not a yes man. Everyone in the cut, your nan, your gran, your mum, and your dad, please say hello to man like Saeed, host and owner of Saeed TV. Saeed, how you doing, man?
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up to everybody in the building. Thanks for that, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? We're just trying to elevate. We're just trying to do me. You know what I'm saying to you? And that's how it should be, man. Be yourself, people. That's all you can do, man. A lot of people who
Amen.
try to
Amen to
entertain the
that.
crowd, man. There's a lot of people that try to entertain the crowd. You know what I mean? They try to be this person that they're not, man. I'm just me, man. Innit? You feel me? And I just try to lead my life, man. You know what I mean? Lead the path that you want to, you know what I mean? You want to go to, man. And you know what I mean?
100%.
God is the best of planners, man. You know what I mean?
100%, mate. 100%. And just for people to know, listen, Saeed, we spoke backstage and stuff. I watched Straight Jacket podcast.
Yeah, man.
So
Big up,
obviously
man.
your collabs with Nuruddin, Mr. Iron United. As I said, I've
Yeah,
spoken
big
about
up the man,
Flawless and
them.
stuff. So nah, man, I'm a fan, and also you're a Man United fan. So it's a
Come on,
good
man.
thing. Do you know what I mean? Listen, let's just get into it. Let's get into it. YouTube yourself, yeah. I know you went to the Man United games because also I followed you. We all know about the dark tunnels and the dark corridors and the away games and stuff.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
What was it like doing YouTube? And what made you think, yeah, I'm gonna go on YouTube?
Do you know what? Yeah, I think it was. It's a funny story, man. I was in Tim Hortons, and I was watching some guys called SE Dons. I don't know if you know heard of SE Dons, YouTube
Okay.
football YouTubers. Yeah, I think they're Sunday League team, but they're more just combined into like a Sunday YouTube team in it. But it's essentially it's a Sunday League team. And I was watching one guy called Donny Jones, man. If you know Donny Jones, shout out to Donny Jones, man. You get me? I was watching him, yeah, and I don't know what it is, yeah, but something was just appealing, man. Man was just like enjoying. They were basically vlogging the whole game of football, and it was like, right, this sounds good, man. I remember I was in Tim Hortons, yeah, Cheetah Mill, and I remember I was in there. And my mate was like, "Yo, why do you try YouTube in it?" And then I thought, you know what? Why not, man? So in that moment, I just made my channel name, and I went boom. This was it, man. And then next to it, yeah. I started the channel name United Central. This is obviously formerly known as United Central. And I started it and I just thought, you know what, let's go with it. And then next thing you know, we're here today. And it's just basically been a crazy story. I started 2000, I believe it was 2017, yeah. Summer of 2017. And yeah, man, we're here, man. We're here, you know what I'm saying to you. Alhamdulillah, we're here. And it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, ups and downs, but this journey's been mad, man. You know what I mean? But for me, YouTube,
good, right?
yeah, man. For me, YouTube never was across. I didn't even watch it, to be honest with you. I was more on the kind of TV vibe at that time. But then as soon as I jumped on YouTube, I was just there, man. I was there. I stayed on YouTube, and I haven't since left, man. I haven't since left, bro. You get me? It's been a crazy journey, man. Crazy journey.
And do you know what? I think most of us people in the cut, we all know Saeed and stuff, but I think it's because we can relate to you. Shout out to everyone in the cut. Please smash a like. If you're new, subscribe. I think we can relate to you, Saeed. We see you go to the games. We see you get you've grown up with supporting Man United. And we're around the same age, Saeed. So it's like we've grown up smacking teams. We've grown up dominating football, cup finals, whatever. We've seen our team win Champions League. So the contrast now is upsetting, isn't it? It's very frustrating.
Absolutely.
And with that, with growing up, every time there comes a new cycle of dominance in football, there comes a new generation of fans. Okay? But before I go into the new generation of fans, Man United right now compared to Man United back then, it's a myth, isn't it? It's an absolute myth. When you think about it, when we'd go to games knowing we might not play well, but we're going to win. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the Fergie days, we enjoyed. And well, listen, you could even say David Moyes won a flipping trophy with a Community Shield. But like the contrast in supporting Man United then and now is massive, right? What's your thoughts on it?
For me, it's a kind of it's a bad reality, you know what I mean, of where we've fallen, really.
Is it a bad reality or is it a nightmare come true?
Well, I don't know about nightmare come true because I always feel like, you know, you can somehow control fate, you know what I mean? You can control your destiny, you know what I mean? And try and, you know what I mean? And I feel like for me, yeah, it's just been a kind of crazy reality of how we've fallen, man. You know what I mean? In terms of how low it's been going and going. You know, I remember the days of Ronaldo, Rooney. You know, you always knew a goal was coming. I remember the greatest moment for me being a fan was the Makeda moment. I don't know if you know the Makeda moment, but you know, we were
Villa. Come on,
yeah, Aston Villa, man. You know what I mean?
And then he
man.
Come on, man.
Oh man, I remember that day, man. It was a nice April. You know when it was like the sun was there, it was glaring, but it was a nice cool April evening, and the sun was out, man. And I remember Makeda scored that goal. I ran outside, man. I was absolutely. This is a time where when someone scored a goal, you didn't tweet it and you didn't celebrate through tweeting because that's what people do nowadays. We celebrate through tweeting, innit? You know what I mean? It's crazy, but we celebrated going outside and absolutely shouting. My neighbors came out, everyone came out, and then it was like crazy. And for me, them kind of moments, man, I used to love them moments. And I feel like for me now, it's just one of them, man. It's a lot of GA football. There's a lot of, like, you know, stats, you know what I mean, going on.
Yeah.
We're not watching football for what it was and what it is right now. And it kind of, to me, it's a bit of a sad one, isn't it? You feel me? Because, like, 100%. It's almost a case now is a player could have a good season, but if you don't win anything, nobody's bothered as long as that player did well that season, you know? So, I don't know, man. For me, United have fallen, but, you know, I think we're going to go deeper. I think this is the start of the ride, man. I really do. This is the start of the kind of a bad ride, you know? But
and a lot of people
again, you still support the club.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
listen,
absolutely.
That's the difference, isn't it? Like, you know, it's not like you're saying I'm done with Man United as in supporting them. You're obviously with the cause and stuff, you can say, yeah, I'm done. But you know, the moments you discussed there, Makeda, I remember he got the ball to feet, he cut it, you know what I mean? He chopped the man, bent it around the corner. I remember the celebration. He ran and celebrated with his brother and his family in the corner. I remember that. We beat Aston Villa 3-2. Ronaldo scored 2 goals that day. And those moments, I feel we're never going to get that again. Just because the way, and this is, do you know what? People say, oh, you're being negative. Like, people are saying that, shut up and just listen to what I'm about to say. Okay? And I think with this negative culture, oh, you're being negative, I think people don't really listen to what you say. Yourself and myself, they need to listen, not hear what they want to hear. We're not going to get moments like that because the way we play football, because of who's running our club. Let the truth be said, okay? Like, that is the truth, yeah? But Saeed, like, see now, okay? Social media, like you said, people tweet the goal. You can't just enjoy the moment now. Can you imagine players like Phil Neville, John O'Shea, I dare say Nicky Butt, playing in this generation of football?
And exactly, and that's what these guys don't realize, man. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But then again, just imagine this generation, the social media generation, judging these players. You know, it'd be absolutely madness, man. You know what I mean? But that's what football. I think football without social media was better anyway. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, even though I've done well in YouTube, even though I've done well in the following I've got and whatnot, I take it all back, mate. If they was just watching football for what it was and just like embracing the moment, embracing everything that you had, you know what I mean? And just talking to your mates about it. You know what I mean? Going to the park and say, did you watch Man United today? Look at the goals today. You know, I'm recreating the moments. You know what I mean? It's like now everyone's on their phones for like 4 or 5 hours straight, watching reactions, watching this and that. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, so
selfies, Snapchats, and all that.
Yeah, man. I would go back, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm one of them. I'm a real one, man. I would go back for all that, you know. I would go back to the days of just watching it, pure football, watching the analysis, watching everything that went on with it, watching match of the day, you know what I mean, and just having a routine for your day, you know what I mean. But this is what life is. I mean, we've had to evolve, though. We've had to evolve.
People forget that match of the day was on at 10 o'clock for a reason, 10, half 10, because
people
that went to the games or whatever, or were out, it was on late because, you know, everyone, if you went to a Man United game, you went to Chelsea, Arsenal, respectively, you could come home sit on the sofa, and then watch match of the day, watch the rest of the games. Now, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You get text messages, highlights. You know, you can go on Twitter. Flip it, you can go on YouTube now, and the goals are out there. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? And
Within minutes.
Yeah, exactly. You see Sky Sports saying, download the Sky Sports app, catch every goal being scored. But then this is the thing, and where I'm coming to with this, no one watches football matches anymore, Saeed.
No. It's Twitter, isn't it? It's Twitter. You watch Twitter.
Because see with the players, the reason I brought up those players, obviously they won so many trophies with Man United, right? But I think to myself, what Phil Neville did for us, what John O'Shea did and Nicky Butt did, in those days it was priceless. You know, squad players at best, but they'd done a job. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We could talk about Phil Neville, his performances against Arsenal. We can talk about John O'Shea, not Megan Figo, doing the chip at Highbury. And you've got Nicky Butt, who basically played rotation to when Scholes and Keane couldn't play. Do you know what I mean? So that being said, okay, Man United as a whole, I won't use the word crisis, but is it a poor state of affairs now, Saeed? The reason I'm going to that, where I'm going with that, is because I've mentioned Nicky Butt, and I want to quickly touch on Nicky Butt. I think he's been shagged. I think basically, what's happened at Man United is that Ed Woodward's got his mates in, and it's like, do you know what, yeah, mate? You say hello to me, you say good morning, you say good night, you ask me about my family. Do you know what, mate? Do you fancy this job? And then they've shagged Nicky Butt. Can you just touch quickly on that? Your thoughts on that with Nicky Butt?
For me, Nicky Butt, man, I'm with you, man. I feel like he's been absolutely chastised out of this football club. I think for me, he's thought, you know what I mean, what on earth have these guys done, mate? What on earth have these guys, you know what I mean, messed up here, mate? It's you know, some people are saying better opportunity, man. That's all BS, man. That's all BS, mate. He's literally been hard done by. He's thought, who's this Darren Fletcher guy coming out of nowhere with a tracksuit on, and he's coming here out of nowhere, and he said to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, yo, listen, I'm ready to come here and do whatever you need me to. You get me? And then next week, you know, Nicky Butt's been taking out the job, even though it's been there 9 years, yeah? It's like with any job, man, when you're in there grafting or whatnot, and then next week, you know, you come out of nowhere, and you know what I mean? It's took your job, man. You know what I mean? Anyone would be aggrieved, though. I would be aggrieved. You get me? So for me, I feel sorry for him. And he's looking at thinking, Darren Fletcher's got no experience at all, man. None at all. And I've got 9 years on him. He's got 9 years on him. How can you not say that, man?
9 years, though. Nicky Butt was part of the class in '92. What do footballers talk about? The people that are older than the generation older than us.
I think exactly, and I think for me, as well, you got to realize though, you know what I mean, like this club, man, it's just run differently now. You know what I mean? It's run to the point where, you know what I mean, they're just happy with failure. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's evident now. They're happy with failure because eventually the owners, you know what I mean? You get me. Glazer's out, by the way, Woodward out. But they're saying now that they're happy without success as long as the money's coming in and as long as we know that it's not a toxic environment or all he does is challenge the Glazers. They're happy with that, man. You know what I mean? They don't want no one coming in and questioning their authority or questioning what they're doing. Nicky Butt probably questioned it out the door. Nicky Butt questioned it and he's out the door.
Saeed, I'm glad you said that, right? Because there's a pattern at Man United right now, isn't there? Okay? I won't go as far as David Moyes, but Louis van Gaal said something about Man United that I thought was quite damning, but it stayed in my head. Louis van Gaal said, you have all the money in the world, but you've got people, money men running the football club. Money men making football decisions.
Yeah.
He questioned the board. Jose Mourinho, you can say what you want about Jose. We all know when you hire Jose, you either back him or you don't. You don't hire him. He questioned the board. Okay, he questioned the players and stuff. I get that. But Saeed, there seems to be a pattern here. If you question the board or Woodward, you're gone.
If you don't question them, you stay. And you get a
you get a
3-year contract. You get a promotion or you get a 9 million a year. And that's exactly what's happening right now. You know what I mean? And Ollie will be happy with what's ever been. You know what I mean? He's like you know what I mean? It's like I always analyze it in a way where you're in a mansion, yeah. Imagine you're in a multi-million mansion, and the owner says to you, all you gotta do, make sure your room is clean, make sure you do your bed. Every time you eat something, tidy up. Just can you do that for me? What do? You do that, won't you? You make sure you don't get in his way, and that's eventually what Ollie is to the Glazers. Don't go and get in my way, and I'll be all right with you, man. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you?
It's sad, but it's the truth. And like, we can only, we're not in Carrington. We're not in the offices. We're not at the training ground. So we can only go by what we see. A man that is, you can argue if he's a legend or not, okay? He was a good footballer at Man United, won loads of trophies.
Was an iconic legend. Legend.
There you go. And then Darren Fletcher, look, I can be a bit biased to Darren. He's Scottish, but he played in his generation and he done his thing. I get that. Now, put that all aside. Nicky Butt's given you 9 years. 9 years. You know, we're Man United Football Club. We used to talk about loyalty. What's going on? And you know what you said?
No loyalty, mate. Now
you said Ollie, yeah. I think. Do you know what? Like, I know people are messaging me like, "Raw, you've got Saeed on. You need to ask him about Ollie." You know, I was just like, "No, chill, don't worry." Like,
everyone should know that, man. You should know that already, man. Ollie out, man.
Yeah, but do you know what? I know you're Ollie out, yeah. And listen, before I go to you, Saeed, listen, big up to everyone in the comments. Please drop a like. The last 10 minutes of the show, we're gonna get your questions into Saeed. But please, drop a like and please stay with us, engage with us. Saeed, Ollie, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We remember that goal. I was 9 years old when he scored. I was screaming. My neighborhood had a street party when we won the Champions League. Now, I was on a channel, right? And I said something. I said, people forget that Ole made a career of being a sub. Okay, we could talk about the 4 goals he scored when he came off the bench stuff. But he was a sub. And this is not me degrading him, because in those days it was tactical. Come off the bench, score your goals, win us games, yeah? And then you've got to look at his education and management, okay? We can say that about anyone. You can say that about Lampard, Phil Neville himself, and so on. He got the Man United job, okay, when things were... Do you know, he got the Man United job when there was darkness, okay?
Yep.
And he's brought...
You know, he got the job. He got the job when Man United were in a toxic relationship. And we went on a rebound. You know when you go on a rebound and you know what I mean, you're on a vulnerable stage. Man United were vulnerable. And then they seen that pretty, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, guy over there who thought, you know what? You know what I mean, give me some of what you got. And then obviously we've got, you know what I mean, it's the same old triangle, innit? It's true though, innit?
It's true, yeah. And then look, he done what he had to do. Okay, and look, we could do a 2-year analysis of what he said, but listen, I've only got you till about 7, so I'm trying to keep this swift on Ollie. But Saeed, I mean, the 3-year contract that's being talked of that he's getting,
bullshit.
If we exit the Europa League, and I dare say we exit top 4, he's still going to get this contract, isn't he?
Yep.
Why?
Then this is the biggest protest known to man.
But Saeed, I asked you this, Saeed. We've heard protests before.
I'm gonna do one.
You heard it here first, guys. Exclusive.
Yeah.
Saeed and the man them are gonna riot.
Seriously, I'm gonna do one. I'll do one, innit? I'm engaged on social media. I'm gonna set it up, and let's see what happens in it. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, listen,
maybe, just maybe.
Exactly. You never know, because we know if you're really passionate about your club, you will do something. But let's talk about contracts, okay? Ollie's getting a new contract. It's been reported.
Yeah.
We got knocked out the FA Cup. I already saw your reviews. I'm sure people that follow you have already seen the reviews. Saeed, what does Ollie do now? All jokes aside, should he walk?
He wouldn't walk. He would want to walk from apparently 10 million a year. You know, I mean, that's what, 200 something grand a week. I wouldn't walk, even if I knew I wasn't going to do the job. If someone said to you, you know what I mean, I'm going to demote you on a 10 million a year contract, but you still don't have that high position, you'd stay, wouldn't you? I would stay. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this is probably his last job ever. for me, the top stage of football I've been ever, mate. I'm being honest with you, man. That's nothing personal, mate. I don't see him getting another job in the Premier League.
No,
I
I
don't even
don't
think
think
in
that
the
will
Championship.
happen.
I don't even think in the Championship because people will look at his record in Cardiff and look like, you know what? He relegated Cardiff. Why do we want him here? Can he do anything with the tools? You know, can he do anything with an average squad? I'm not too sure.
And that's
You know,
the
so
thing,
for
though,
me,
Saeed. Carry on. Sorry, carry on. Beg your pardon.
no, for me, that's why I look at it and I think, I mean, 10 million a year, man, for failure. It's crazy. They pay 10 million for Cavani wages. This club does not learn, man. This club doesn't learn. And people don't accept it. And people just say, you know what? But it's Ollie. Let Ollie have it. Ollie's a legend. Let him. It's all right because it's Ollie. Nah, man, it shouldn't be all right regardless of the manager who it is. You know what I mean? But
What does that say about the people hiring him, though? Giving him this contract?
absolutely. Crazy. They're parasites, man. They don't care, man. They see Man United as a cash cow. They see Man United as a business interest. They see Man United as a venture. You know, they see Man United as an entity that's never going to crumble. Let's be honest. I don't think Man United would ever crumble because of all the weight it holds, the fan base it holds, the global entity it holds, the kind of the actual phenomenon it is. It will never fail because of
There's
what
a question
it can
here,
do.
Saeed. The question here, sorry to cut you off, Saeed. Football capital, big up Bocce, all the way from Australia, Saeed. So big up to him.
Big up,
Saeed. You want Ollie out, but then trust in the owners to make the right decision to bring in the right persons to take over.
No, I don't trust him. But the thing is, for me, if I knew Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to go and Nagelsmann was going to come in, I trust Nagelsmann or coach, a proper coach, to do better with what he's got right now, and that's my ultimate aim. You know what I mean? For me, there's glazed out movements for glazed out purposes, but glazed out movements do not come into place when you lose that kind of game against Leicester, when you bottle semi-finals after semi-finals. They don't come into situation. Okay, you can talk about different squads and all that, but ultimately, Woodward and the Glazers don't tell you what formation to pick. Ultimately, Glazers don't tell you what to do, tactical, this and that, bring on 4 subs all at once. You know, do the Glazers tell you to do that? I'm not sure, mate. And if it is, then bloody hell, mate. There needs to be a Amazon documentary if that's the case.
I think no. Yeah, like do you know what the 4 subs? Look, I've got a podcast, a United podcast with Rachel, Spice, and Beats, right? And we were all flabbergasted. We couldn't believe 4 subs.
Yeah, career mode settings, man. It's crazy.
You don't even do that on FIFA. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, you know exactly. You know what I mean? It just goes to show, man. Exactly.
Shout out to my United podcast crew. Big up to them. Saeed, do you know what? Last little word on United, okay? Before we move on to some stuff.
Yeah.
The Europa League draw. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confident we'll beat Granada. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not confident if we meet Roma in the next round. What's your thoughts? We are favourites, okay? But for me, in my opinion, I'm a bit worried if we come against Roma. You know, I think Roma's like that uncle you play in your garden with
even
football.
Ajax.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I think Roma's like playing your uncle in the garden. He's teasing you. There's the football, but you're never getting it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say to you?
That's true.
So what do you think?
Absolutely. Oh, it's like sometimes when the young ones play Federer and they think they're gonna outbeat him just because they've got a bit of agility or they've got a bit of guile and the cup prevails. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure, man. After this FA Cup, man, for me, when I look at it, I think the FA Cup was easier to win than the Europa League because I look at it and I think, you know what Man City style is? Ollie got your number. You know what Chelsea style is? You know what I mean? You know what Southampton are going to do? You know what I mean? You've beat them before. You know what they're about. You see them week in, week out. Granada, I don't know what they're going to do, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what Ajax are going to do. Roma. We've got 5 games now 4 games and then the final. There's still 5 games to go until you win it.
That's that way. That's why I like hearing you talk, because that way of you saying it, you've got 5 more games to win it. That's scary.
Yeah.
When you break it down,
Every
like
game is a hurdle. Every game is
yeah,
a hurdle as well. You know.
exactly. There's a few questions here, Saeed. Botche is just saying. So you're saying all of the teams should be smashing the league? Where do
No,
you
no,
think
no,
we
no.
should
Never said
be?
that.
Where do you think we should be? Because we know we're doing better than we should.
The thing is, for me, it's not about we should be winning the league and whatnot. I'm just looking at people saying there's progress in terms of footballing style. For me hasn't changed. I called it for 2 years. It's still freestyle football. And for me, it should have been doing better in these cup competitions, man. I'm sorry, man.
100%.
That Carabao Cup should have been nailed on this year. We should have beat City, man. We should have. We were at home. Was it at one leg, the game?
Yeah.
It was one leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One leg at home,
Yeah.
people. We should have won that game. We're at home, man. We should have took it to them and said, you know what? One leg, we're going to go all in. The FA Cup, shambles.
Yeah.
Okay, Sevilla. I'm not going to put much on Sevilla because we did boss the game. You know what I mean?
But we didn't score. Yeah, we didn't score.
We didn't score. But, it's multiple failures, mate. And, it's only so long you can say,
Yeah. Last question on United there, Saeed. From Talking Barca, thank you. Hope if you're new, please subscribe, drop a like. Saeed, my question is, do you think Ollie's protecting the Glazers like Wenger's to the Kroenkes? Top four legend and protect the board.
Yeah, it's another Wenger. Crazy, man. That's a good one. I never thought of that one. He's another Wenger. Crazy.
Thank you for that. Saeed, thank you for your an insight on Man United. Thank you so much. Also, very grateful you're on the channel.
No, man.
I want to touch base on a little adventure you had with the United stand.
Yeah.
How did that come about with the United stand, and also how you left it? Okay, and how do you feel now?
So I started it. Somewhat. I think August of 2000. Yeah. August of 2017, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, Mourinho's second season when Luke Shaw scored. I think Luke Shaw, scored. I think the winner against Leicester. I remember Flex going around. You know Flex, innit? Big up to Flex.
Yeah.
He was going around looking for people to jump on the fan cams, because obviously at that time I was Lewis fan cams or whatnot. I don't think it reached even maybe less than 200K before I came on. And he was going around, and I thought, for me, he looked like a decent guy. He came across very, very, you get me, articulate. He came across, very, very, what would I call it, approachable. I come on there, and he was just like, do you want to do 5 words? Give a couple of words and whatnot. I just say your piece. And I went on there, and then, man, we kept going week after week, and then just slowly becoming a personality on the channel. And people liked it. People like the rawness. People like the kind of what they call the
real content,
the straight approach.
Yeah.
For me, I give my piece and I gave it in a way where I thought I'm gonna be me in it. I'm gonna be me, and people liked it, man. And obviously we had that relationship or whatnot. You know what I mean? Obviously, as time goes by, you see other avenues, you see other things in life, and it's all about adapting for me, man. I wanted to adapt. I wanted to evolve, and you have to just keep growing, man. For me, that was all about, man. I've got nothing against the channel. You get me? Big up to them. You know what I mean? I think they're 1 million. I'm saying to you, so big up to them. Big up to Flex and whatnot. But for me,
you never
it's just
got a shout out for that, did you, though? Because you were a part of that journey, weren't you?
For me, I don't really look at them kind of stuff, for me, because end of the day, man, it's a personal life evaluation. What have you achieved in life? It's not always about, getting gratitude and always getting a thank you from someone. I think for me, it's one of the things in life, it's the journey you take, you're going to see people in life, you're going to do things in life, and whatnot. I just, for me, I never look at life and I think, oh, I need to have gratification. I need to, get the response of people that, that I really want to say, you know what, thanks for this, or, well done for whatever you did. For me, it's never been about that. I just, for me, get me, I know who's who, I know who's what, and I know them. I still have in contact with them people. But at the end of the day, for me, it was all about just progressing in life. And I thought, let me just go to my own lane. And here we are, man. Saeed TV, new journey, new beginnings. And I think for me, life is all about evolving, just having a purpose in life. And you just, for me, that purpose in life is just keep growing day by day, year by year, and self-evolving, man. Because I think at the end of the day, people, achieve a lot of life, but they don't have the courage to do it. It's all about just being yourself and just true to yourself. And you know what I mean? I tell you now, man, the world's your oyster, man. The world is your oyster.
Amen. Listen, amen to that. And big up to everyone in the cart. Devil's Avocado. She's like me when Saeed left the US. I was sad when Saeed left the United Stand. Funny guy. Big up to Beats Corner. Yeah. This is Beats, the guy I was telling you about. I got the podcast with. Shout out to Saeed, keep doing you, my bro. Hey, Bob's coming with a fresh with a tear. Hey, big up to you, Beats. Big up to Devil's Avocado. That's Rachel, like I said, in my gang. Red United TV. Spice. That's my little United gang. Obviously, Indiana's in the cut. Big up to you, man. Thanks for that, Saeed. Right? Do you know what, Saeed? I'm gonna be honest with you, right? When lockdown happened, I didn't really watch YouTube too tough before then. And as you know, if you're a football fanatic, football fan, you want to watch football. So I was like, my cousins that live in America were saying, watch the United Stand. They've got these people on. You can relate to them. So I see you. I see Flex, Rants, and Aaron. So I was thinking, right. And obviously, Nuruddin, Mr. Structure. We can't forget him. And for me, it was just like, wow, do they actually do this? Fan channels, everyone knows about AFT, but like, Man United, I didn't know Man United had a representation like that. And do you know what? I looked forward to when the game was over, I'd tune in, like everyone else, to hear what you got to say, because the generation now has changed. Because for me, I don't want to watch Sky pundits talk anymore, if I'm honest, because they're just going to give the PC, unless it's Roy Keane, they're going to give you the PC. There's something defense, but hear the fans, because for me, I'm like, we're the guys watching the game. You guys are there live, okay? And for me, I'm just like, yeah, go on. And then when you say something, I'm like, yeah, like, oh my goodness, you would never hear that. So I felt like we could relate to your personality, we could relate to Aaron's personality, Flex's, and obviously, listen, we can't forget about man like Rants and Bants. Do you know what I mean?
Come on.
But then for you all to leave like that, I was just like, well, I'm not going to watch this again, am I? Because I didn't feel there was anyone on there. And this isn't, listen, I'm not trying to noise you up or anything. This is me talking to you as a colleague in this game and also a fan of football. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch this now. And I stopped watching it because I felt I didn't see a representation. I didn't see anyone I could relate to. And, let's look. Spice is in the cut there. He's just saying, I was devastated myself, stopped watching United Stand when the man then left. And this is what people need to remember, that like people that watch fan channels, they watch them because they can relate to the people talking on the channels. And I think they missed a trick, bro. And that's a compliment to you and you guys. We're still on social media, Saeed, and unfortunately, we got trolls. Society has encouraged a certain type of behavior, online abuse. If you say something, people will clip you up, edit it, and so on. Mentally, Saeed, right? Obviously, your personality, you have a platform. So I'm sure you're aware that, unfortunately, there's going to be some people that don't like you. It is what it is. That's life, okay? When the abuse gets to the point where they're atting you and it's every day, how do you cope with that?
You know what, man? It's a funny one, man. It's a funny one. For me, would I say it bothers me too much? Yes and
you're
no.
Human. You're
human.
Human.
Of course. You're human. You're human. You know what I mean? I'm not made of a brick. You know what I mean? I'm a human. I'm a human. But for me, what I do, and what I say to myself, man. You know what I mean? They don't represent my culture, man. You know what I mean? Let's be real, man. That's why for me, I don't really buy into it, man. And for me, my character's not on Twitter or my character's not on social media. I represent a certain part of my character. You know what I mean? And I represent my certain part of it, you know what I mean? But football is a subject, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not the worldly matters of today. Sorry?
It's opinions, isn't it? It's opinions.
Yeah, it's opinions, you know what I mean? And someone told me, man, opinions are there, you know what I mean, to you take it or you leave it, you know. That's how, for me, that's how life works. And for me on social media, I realized it, man. 4 or 5 years ago, it was probably the best thing that was possible. You know, I think Twitter was a place where I thought for me it was for the older generation, the kind of the people who thought at least like for me the younger ones had their own lane, but for us or the older generation, it kind of like it was for us to kind of it was all banter. For me, I just found it all banter, and I think now it's come to turn of the worst, man. Maybe the lockdown has affected it. For me, it's heightened it in the last year, because obviously you got to realize people are kind of don't have anything to do. People are on furlough. People, people just have, don't have the time to do whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I take it as this, and I say to everyone, I just block them, for me, I'm on the blocking vibe now. I just block them because at the end of the day, when you block them, they can't see your content again unless they make a fake profile. And they can do whatever on that fake profile. But for me, I realize, I just block them, bro. I swear down to you. I don't even look at it, by the way. I look at it at first glance and then I block them. Because I know then it's out of your sight, out of your mind. That's the perfect way to do it. For me, if you consume it and then go into your head and then you don't block them and you just leave them, then it's worse and worse and worse. For me, I just block and then I move. You get me? And what else do I do, when I have this phone, I use it and then I put it down and then I get for my life. I don't go in it, then keep going there thinking, oh, who's replied to it? You know what? I've got about 5 quote tweets here. Some people must be hating comments here. I don't. Because at the end of the day, I'm in a part of my life where I feel like for me, I'm on a journey where, you know what I mean? I'm trying to elevate and I'm trying to grow. And I feel like for me, there's people in life that are jealous, man. Jealous for me, I think it's the biggest bad trait I've seen probably in the last 2 or 3 years, man. The last 2 or 3 years, I've been realized jealousy is the biggest and probably the most evil trait in a human being. I'm telling you, bro.
Joe said it best, isn't it? When he had that album with Lean Back on it. His album was called J.O.S.E. Jealous ones still envy. Now, if you're old enough to remember Fat Joe,
there you go then. There you go then. And that's what I do, man. I think jealousy is a big kind of a bad trait of people, and that's why for me, I just look at it and I think to myself, I'm not with that, man. I really am not with that. And I just say to people, man, don't consume your time on social media. Don't let it be all envy in life. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know what I'm trying to say to you. So it's one of them for me. You know what I'm saying to you. It's like that guy there, that real guy there. You know what I mean? He's come on he's come on the platform here. You know what? I'm not bothered. You can put it up now. You know what I mean? End of the day, he's come on here to leave that comment. You know what I mean? And then he's gonna go on with his life. I'm gonna go with my life. You know what I mean? I don't know you. I don't really care for you. You know what I'm trying to say to you? But that's for your own kind of benefit in life. You know what I mean? And that's why for me, what's it called? I don't really kind of consume anything in what I want to do. I just keep going, mate. And you know what I've noticed as well? When you leave this platform and you go outside, none of these same people. It's all love, man. Every single time when you leave it's all love, people. Don't believe there's hate, Don't believe there's hate. Don't believe there's hate, people. And that's why for me, I always say to people, 98% love, 2% hate. The 2% that people, the 2% that people focus on is what eats them away. The 2% that they see as hate and they see it, they consume it too many times. They focus on that too heavily. They don't focus on the 98% love.
And talking about love, Saeed, talking about love. I mean, look, Indiana's showing you some love there. People watch people.
Yeah, man, big up, man.
This is people are the content. We got Ryan. Big up to Ryan. I've stopped watching the United Stand when Rant Saeed Aaron left, to be honest. And look, there's another thing by Indiana. He's been a bit cheeky here. How much would it have to be paid for you and Ollie to get an Ollie in tattoo? I'll book you in when I take Aaron, if you like.
I'm all right, man. I'm good. Yeah, man. I'm good.
No, Saeed, God bless you, man. Because for me, I'll big up to Kendall. Shout out Kendall. Listen,
yeah, man. Big up Kendall, man. Always.
I've got a lot of time for Kendall. Got a lot of time for Kendall. And do you know what? To be honest, Saeed, he speaks of you very highly, man. Seriously. So love.
All right, okay.
Yeah, speaks of you highly, man. So,
come on. I appreciate that.
But no, and do you know what? I'm with you, isn't it? Because I've seen what's it called? I've seen abuse. I've got abuse, and I'm just like, wow. And then
Yeah,
at
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, really? But then, do you know what? I'd see it as this. Okay, if you really, really hate me that much that you've came over to my channel or my social media platform to log in, you picked up your phone, or went on your laptop, done your password, went through all these
Yeah.
things to get onto a certain social media, to then type hate, you are the person with the problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, for me, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I've ever trolled anyone. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gone to a platform and really gone and just trolled anyone. I could be wrong, you know what I mean? And I could be, you know, there must be a tweet out there somewhere, but I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever gone to a YouTube channel and started saying anything to anyone, because I've always said to myself, my opinion is relevant to the person who's successful. You know what I mean? That's what someone said to me.
Yes.
Your opinion is irrelevant to the person who's already successful in what they're doing. And if you're successful in what you're doing, you shouldn't ever bother what other people are saying. And that's, for me, the biggest thing I always take with myself. You know what I mean? And then I know what I'm doing. I know where I want to go. People, you know where you want to go in life. I'll just keep the road, man. You know what I mean? You don't just stop in the middle of the motorway, do you?
Exactly.
You know, unless you're going on the hard shoulder, you're going to you know what I mean, to pick up fuel or whatnot. You keep going on that motorway. That's what I'm doing, man. I'm just cruising. I'm on 70 miles an hour on the motorway, and I'm just cruising, man. You know what I mean? And I'm just going, man. That's all you can do, man.
And Saeed, I mean, what's the last bit of advice what's the last bit of advice you can give people that are doing YouTube, that are unfortunately getting social media trolling? You know, we've seen it with Kendall, we've seen it with yourself, Aaron.
Yeah, man. Big up Kendall, man.
TV. You know, it seems to be a thing. You know, what would you say to deal with that? What's the coping mechanism?
It's difficult, man. It's difficult because it all depends on how strong you are mentally. You know what I mean? It all depends on how you cope with things. You know what I mean? It's I can't say what's easy for me can be easy for another person. You know what I mean? Each people deal with it in a different way. You know what I mean? And that's life. That's part of life, yeah. But what I would say to people is, you know what I mean, just focus on what you believe in, and focus on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture for me is whatever you're doing right now must be a purpose in it, and stick to that, man. And I just go by the rule, man. I always say, man, 98% love, 2% hate. Which one are you gonna focus on? Are you gonna focus on the 98% love? You know, are you gonna focus on the 98% love that you get every day? Then, come on, man. You know what it is as well, man. I think the biggest one is, I get a lot of messages, right? You know what I mean? And I don't want to sound too big-headed, yeah. I get a lot of messages, you know, and I leave them stored in I don't know if you know where it's called a request on Instagram, yeah. There's a lot of them, man. And I always say to myself, yo, why do I never read them? You know what I mean? There's a loads every day, man. There's about 3 or 4 more new ones saying, yo, man, Saeed, big up what you do. You know what I mean? You're doing well. You know what I'm saying to you? I always say to myself, you know, why do people in life, yeah, they read hateful comments and then they don't really, you know what I mean, reply back to all the good comments people send them? Why? And that's, for me, that's the thing I've learned, man. Reply back to keep replying. It's almost like therapy, man. If you imagine I said to you, every day I want you to reply back to 10 positive messages.
Yeah.
Your output and your outlook on your whole day is going to be like, rah, you know what? What a positive day. You've just replied back to 10 people who have said you're doing good work, and you reply back to them saying, you know what? Thank you very much. Your whole output for the day is changed. But as soon as you feed into negativity, your whole output for the day is gone. You almost feed into the negativity. So what do you want to become? That's the question, man. I've got to tell to people. What do you want to become? A person who feeds into hate, or if you're a person who thrives on positivity and you know what I mean, indulges it in a way where, you know, it affects your livelihood, and it carries you on to the day where you almost achieve every goal there is possible. And that's the reality of life, man.
And do you know what, Saeed? I stand with you, right? Because as well as most of the people in this group to stand with you, you know, it's a funny thing. There's a culture now, isn't it? You know, people feel like because they watch you, they can say whatever they want, they like to. But if it's
faceless accounts is common. You know what I mean? What can I do? What can you do? Faceless accounts.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
ask me about picture.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? They'll ask
what
for your
can you do to them
picture.
people? What can you do to them faces?
Exactly.
You can't. You let them have their little 2 minute of glory, and then you just gotta move on, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, yeah, I tell you what, man, they're jobless, man. They're all jobless, man. And I'm not
Listen,
here to kind of mimic jobless people. You know what I mean? But they're jobless,
exactly.
mate, and they have no purpose in life, mate. And that's the biggest thing, mate. You know what I mean? Mum probably told them to put the clothes in the washing machine, and they said they probably said no to their mum. You know what I'm saying to you? Let's be real out here, man.
Exactly.
They didn't put the meat on the freezer. You know, these are the kind of people that troll, man. I'll be real with you, man. You know, these are the kind of people that troll, man.
You're right.
Scruffy
Listen,
bedroom, you know what I mean?
I agree
Not
with you,
had a
man.
shower in a few days, you know what I'm saying to you? Never did their coursework, I mean. Never did their coursework. Come on, man. These are the kind of people I'm entertaining, man. Why should I entertain these people, man?
Do you know, Saeed, and that crooks me. Like, I think we should use the same attitude towards this racism, because I want to quickly touch on it before we wrap up. Saeed, this is becoming a bit of a fashion accessory now. When I say that, I think like every Tom, Dick, and Mohammed is being racially abused now. You know,
yeah.
I feel like the footballers are getting it. I've had it. I know you've had it. I know Aaron's been targeted. Yeah. We see it.
I've had it football grounds, me. I've had it football grounds. It's crazy.
Listen. There's football grounds in Scotland I don't go to because I see it, you know, and I hear it as well. But like Mel, big up to Sabaya's TV. She gets it. So I know your thoughts on racism, right?
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. How do we eradicate it out of football? Not society, because I've got a battle up where I am right now. Society is a different battle. Okay.
Yeah, that's a different battle. Yeah, that's a different battle.
Different battle, society. You can teach. Listen, I say to people this: people go to school. The kids go to school from 8:30 till 3:30, whatever. They can go home, and everything they've learned that day gets undone.
Yeah, of course.
So how would we eradicate it from football? Obviously, I know you're going to
social media football, or what are you saying?
What, social media and football itself? Like, put it to one. How do you eradicate this poison?
It's going to be a tough one, man. I'll be honest with you, man. The problem is, man, you know what I mean? How do you measure racism?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the biggest one for me. How do you measure it? Because I'll give you a perfect example on someone can send you a message on Instagram. How do Twitter measure racism? They measure it sometimes by, let's say, the N-word, right? You can measure it by that. You can see, you know what I mean? That might be in the category. You know, in terms of racism, you know, the N-word, right? That could be like a thing where that could be a coded word that says, right, that word, right, the Instagram bots or whoever are part of the Instagram team, right, that word, right, it banned, okay. But the problem is, though, how do you measure the monkey emoji? Because if you look at the monkey emoji, though, you know, they say, I was like, you know, I don't know. When you look at the monkey emoji, one of them's hiding your face.
Yeah.
One of them is on the ears. Yeah. So how do you measure racism in terms of that? How do you measure it? I've always said that to people. How do you then, if you're putting them top the monkey side, Instagram cannot measure that. And when you put in a request, they just say to you, well, it's just an emoji, isn't it? Or they'll on their thing, they will measure it as an emoji. So how do you then measure racism? And that's the biggest problem these social medias have to do. They have to have people who are online 24/7. Pay people, man. Pay people who then look at racism and all forms of discrimination, by the way, not just racism, all forms of discrimination. They have to have people who are on it 24 hours. If you are a £1 billion organization, you have to do this. It has to be in your, you know what I mean? What would I call it? Regulatory, whatever, code of practice. Come on, people.
Code of conduct,
Come on, man. It has to be on your priority, man. Same way you can have a guy protecting your shop, a security guard, protecting the supermarket and protecting its, you know, store values and whatever he has in a thingy. How can you not have people who are online in Instagram that are working? So you have about 10 bases in the UK, all working within the UK. 60 million.
Mm-hmm.
65 million the UK is, yeah? Come on, people, man. These
No,
guys
no,
could be on social media looking for these emojis and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I understand racism can be prevalent, but do I say it occurs every single minute? Probably. You know what I mean? It happens very time to time, especially now when the BLM movement was on. It probably was at its peak. But say now it might drop off this week, and there could be a high of sexism or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah. 100%. I agree with you. Like,
so for me, when you look at it like that, then you have to do it like that, and you have to measure it in that kind of order. But you can't do that. Then there's no point. And we're just here, just you know what I mean, we're just waiting. Every time we have an argument about racism, 2 weeks later it disappears. Another racism argument comes up. It's a revolving door, and people need to front the subject for right now and keep the momentum. The problem is the momentum gets lost, and that's the problem. That's why for me, racism is hard to eradicate. Don't get me wrong, we have to maintain it, but the thing is, we have to keep the exposure, keep the momentum. The momentum is key, man. It's not even about consistency; it's about momentum.
Momentum, yeah, and applying pressure on the actual cause. Listen, Saeed, listen, man, that was gospel. Thank you very much.
No, it's all good, man.
To finish off with one quick question: who's your favorite Man United player of all times?
Of all time, for me, it's got to be Paul Scholes. I love Paul Scholes, man. Yeah, definitely Paul Scholes. For me, you know what I mean, a genius, man. The way he played football, you know what I mean, just unbelievable, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'll always remember him, man. Paul Scholes, a genius. He scored goals galore, Paul Scholes. You know what I mean? Them famous chants, you know what I mean? But for me, Paul Scholes has to be.
My favourite Paul Scholes goal was the one he scored against Barcelona in the semi-final when we went on to win the Man United game.
I think mine was Aston Villa.
Oh yeah.
Aston Villa, was it FA Cup? I think it was FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, corner out.
FA Cup, ball over the top, volley.
Bang.
Unbelievable.
We'll probably not see that in a while at Trafford anyway. But listen, Saeed, listen, thank you so much to everyone in the cut. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, the idiots are always going to be idiots.
Idiots will be here, man. Don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, they've helped support the channel, innit? You feel me? And they've got one viewer. One viewer has come from that guy, Rio, innit? So shout out to Rio, innit? Maybe, you know what I mean? He can just assess himself or whatnot.
Listen,
big up to yourself, Rio, man.
Enjoy your sock, Rio. Listen, Saeed, thanks for coming on. People, if you're new, please subscribe. Saeed, thank you so much, man, for kicking it.
Anytime, man. Come on, people. Love to the comments.
I'll hold you to that, bro. I'll hold you to that. I know I've got a few people who want you on my United podcast. As I said, with Beaks, Rachel, and Spice. So yeah, man. Seriously, like we'll work something out. But listen, everyone,
Don't worry,
thank you so much. This has been another episode of Bitz and Bobz Meets. God bless. Have a great weekend.